Hello lovelies, welcome back. My name is Tehja and today is episode 1 of 7 days of a Teezy Valentine, and today we are going to make this Clermont Twin Inspired Corset. It's so freaking cute, and like honestly the Clermont Twins are goals, so I had to recreate it. So if you would like to know how to recreate this Clermont Twin Inspired Corset, please keep on watching. Anyway, these are the materials that you'll need. You will need a glue gun, rhinestones, particularly like 10mm rhinestones. You can use either clear or pink or whatever color you want. You also need a underbust corset in whatever color, but I use pink. You'll also need an X-Acto knife and fabric scissors. And you'll need pink ribbon and also a ruler to measure things out. So now it's time for the DIY. So we're going to take our underbust corset and we're going to cut right along the boning of the corset as close as we possibly can. So I'm going to use the X-Acto knife to kind of like poke a hole through the fabric first and then switch to the fabric scissors to actually cut the fabric out. I'll make sure that I cut as close as possible to the boning. And that's what it should look like after you're done. It doesn't have to be the cleanest cut, but it has to, at least do a decent job and take your time. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the corset. And I'm going to take the ribbon out that ties the corset together because I think it's easier to work on each piece instead of the whole thing all at once. And then now moving on, and like I said, I'm going to do this for the whole corset, and I'm just going to be switching between the X-Acto knife and the fabric scissors, and you can use whatever is comfortable for you. I also found it easier to flip the corset on the wrong side, I guess. Like anyway, the inside part, and to cut it because I found it easier to like spot where the boning was, and it has more ridges that you can follow along with your scissors. And so I kind of found that a little bit easier to cut along. So this is what the corset should start to look like after you cut all the panels out, and it actually looks super duper cute. And so now we are going to finish the edges of the corset because like you'll find that the corset starts to fray. So I'm just going to put a little thin layer of hot glue along the edges of where we cut, and just to secure and kind of lock in the fabric so it doesn't fray as much. And if you put too much glue, you can just melt it with the tip of the hot glue gun. And I originally wanted to use like pink sparkle hot glue sticks for this, but I didn't have enough time. But I think that would be really cute to add some like sparkle or color. This is what the whole corset looks like. So now we're going to do one of the most important things of this whole DIY to make sure that the corset fits like a actual corset. So we're going to move our corset to the side and bust out the ribbon and also the ruler. So what we're going to do is take our waist measurement minus 2 inches from that, and then also divide it by 2, and then you'll cut that out in the ribbon and cut 2 different pieces. So for me, that measurement is 12, and so I'm cutting 2 12-inch pieces out. So then now we're just going to finish the edges of the ribbon, which I'm just going to put a little thin line of hot glue on the edge of the ribbon and then fold the ribbon over that hot glue. Kind of just bend it back, just so it doesn't fray. Again, we're just trying to prevent fraying so it can last for a super duper long time. And you just do that on both sides, on both ribbons. And so now we're going to take that ribbon piece and we're going to glue it in the middle of the corset on each side, in the front and the back. And so we're going to make sure that the ribbon lines up with the seams, and we're just going to glue it there in the front and then also to the back. And it's okay if like the corset doesn't lie down flat when you glue the ribbon to the back, because it's supposed to kind of suck the corset in to make sure that it keeps that corset shape. So after you glue it to the front and the back, you glue the ribbon down to the rest of the boning. And then you just make sure you do that for both sides of the corset as well. So after you glue the ribbon down, now it's time for everybody's favorite part, which is the rhinestones. And also I just wanted to say that I picked out the bigger rhinestones out of the clear rhinestone pack that I got, which should be about 10 millimeters. So I'm going to use my standard gluing rhinestone method. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the rhinestone, and I'm just going to glue it right onto the corset. And I'm just going to go all the way down all of the boning and then also on the ribbon. So, you know, you're just going to watch me just continue to rhinestone. For me, it's like a meditation type of situation. Like, I just love watching rhinestoning. I love rhinestoning in general. And so I'm just going to let some music play and y'all can see me rhinestone. So now that I finished rhinestoning the boning, I'm now going to rhinestone the actual ribbon, and I'm going to try to evenly space it as much as possible. But it's a little bit hard because I am working with bigger rhinestones, so not all of them are going to fit evenly. So you just try to do as best as possible. If there's some spaces between the rhinestones, that's fine. And what I kind of did on this part is that I glued a rhinestone on one end of the section of ribbon and then the other end, and then just placed one in the middle, and then just to make sure that everything is just evenly spaced and it's kind of like aesthetically pleasing to look at, instead of having to cram like all these rhinestones in one small space. Okay, so this is how the corset came out. I freaking like love it. I adore it. It's so pretty. I feel like it's like the perfect like accent to any outfit. So if you recreate this Clermont Twin Inspired Corset, please tag me at Teezy Season, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more DIYs just like this, and also turn on your post notifications so when I do post you get notified whenever a video goes up. So please stay tuned for episode 2 that will be releasing tomorrow. So anyway, please love yourself, and I'll see you next video.